time to play the quiet year. We've done all of our setup in the previous video, so now let's begin. After you've established the first player, the game is very straightforward. There are going to be three main actions that are done each turn. You are going to draw a card, adjust the dice, and then take an action. Step one, we draw a card, and the reason we need to have the rulebook nearby is that the back of the rulebook has an oracle for each suit that we're going to use that corresponds to each card. So, at the beginning of the turn, I draw a card, I draw the Jack of Hearts, and that corresponds to you see a good omen, what is it? Or you see a bad omen, what is it? As the player who drew this card, I have complete control over the decision made here. I can choose whether it's a bad omen or a good omen, and what that omen is. I'm going to choose a bad omen to make the story more interesting, and since our only abundant resource right now is water, I'm going to say something like the water level in the lake drops noticeably, or a strange beast crashes dead into the water. All of these could be seen as bad omens to our one abundant resource. Phase 2 of our turn is adjusting the die. We could at any moment during the game have any number of die on the board. These act as counters, and when we adjust the die, we're going to move them all down by 1. When a die goes from 1 to 0, that means the project it represents is completed. Then your third phase of your turn is take an action, and that can either be discover something new, hold a meeting, or start a project. Discovering something new is exactly what it sounds like. You get to make a decision and put something new on the map, whether that's an old cave that was recently discovered on a foraging expedition, or a crashed spaceship at the base of a mountain while a hunting party was out and about. If it's your turn and you want to hold a discussion, you can either make a simple 1 to 2 sentence statement and give everyone else an opportunity to reply and respond with a similar brief statement, or you can ask a question and give everyone an opportunity to answer with you giving your opinion last. No decision is made after a discussion, much like in a regular community environment, but it gives you an idea of what other people are thinking at the table. And the final action you can take is start a project, and this is where our dice come in. In order to improve our situation, I've created a project to send out hunters to look for wild bison to bring back to raise. The number on the die depends on how important I think the project is. And at the end of every turn, we will decrease the die value by 1, representing improvements in production being made to that project. And then we have the Discontent Tokens. If you ever feel that decisions are being made without your consult or things aren't going the way you like it, you may put one of these on the table. And nothing really happens. It just represents the conflicting views of what's going on in this community. The round will end when the stack of cards that you are playing from depletes until you get to the final stack of cards, the spades. Once the King of Spades is drawn, the Frost Shepherds have returned and the game will end. Those are the basics of the game. I will do one more video that will give kind of more of my review, my thoughts on the game, and an example of a game that I played.